Things have been going rather well for Triple H lately. For the most part, he has been producing hit episodes of Raw and SmackDown. However, that is not to say that each edition is flawless. As with everything, there are bound to be mistakes, and last night, the game might have made a big one. It could see the WWE Universe miss out on a potential blood feud. On Raw, fans were treated to an interaction between Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. After the tension from last week and the loss Kaiser suffered at the hands of Damian Priest, one would assume things would be even worse between the two. But it seems as though Triple H and WWE have decided to shelf that, as the Imperium teammates had a cordial chat. Although the ring general is occupied with the Archer of Infamy right now, some were hopeful of seeing the storyline revolving around the World Heavyweight Champion and Ludwig Kaiser progress. Kaiser backstabbing Gunther would have resulted in a compelling blood feud. But as of now, it does not seem to be in the cards. Of course, these are just early days, and there is still a chance that Triple H might revisit this potential feud in the future. That said, it remains nothing more than speculation at this point. After all, there is no telling what WWE Creative has planned for the duo. Whether or not Gunther will eventually have to deal with Ludwig Kaiser is something Triple H can explore later. Right now, he has a big few weeks ahead of him. First, he must see through a successful edition of Survivor Series, War Games, and then comes the most important move, RAW's transition from the USA Network to Netflix. It is a huge moment as WWE leaves cable television and moves to an OTT platform. The first episode is expected to be a grand affair, with several superstars likely to make an appearance. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns, among others, will be present at Intuit Dome. The excitement is palpable, and things are sure to get even more hectic in the final days leading up to the event. Hopefully, the cerebral assassin will be able to see through a successful transition and produce yet another amazing episode of the Red Brand. When Triple H took over as WWE's Chief Content Officer, fans celebrated his return to creative control. Known for his brilliance in storytelling and long-term booking, he revitalized Raw and SmackDown, weaving intricate storylines that kept viewers on the edge of their seats. However, recent developments on Monday Night Raw have left many fans and analysts scratching their heads, wondering if the game might have made a rare misstep. The situation involves a highly anticipated feud that seemed destined to become one of the most personal and intense rivalries in recent WWE history. Now, whispers backstage suggest the angle could be scrapped altogether. Was this a rare stumble for Triple H, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? The storyline in question involves two rising stars, let's call them Superstar A and Superstar B, who have been circling each other for months. What began as subtle teases and backstage confrontations escalated into full-blown animosity. The seeds of this feud were planted months ago, with both wrestlers delivering cryptic promos and interfering in each other's matches. For weeks, the tension between them simmered, building to what fans believed would be a brutal, no-holds-barred confrontation at an upcoming premium live event. The storyline was rich with personal stakes, betrayal, ambition, and an overarching theme of proving who truly belongs at the top of WWE's food chain. However, this week's episode of Raw seemed to pull the brakes on the feud. Instead of continuing the slow burn that had captivated viewers, the show took a sharp left turn. Superstar A was suddenly shifted into a new program, while Superstar B's role was diminished, leaving fans questioning if the feud had been abandoned. Backstage reports suggest that the decision to pivot away from the feud came directly from WWE's upper management. While Triple H has been lauded for his creative autonomy, he still answers to the corporate hierarchy, including the influence of WWE's new parent company, TKO Group Holdings. One insider hinted at possible concerns over the feud's intensity. This was shaping up to be a blood feud in the truest sense, something that felt raw and emotional. But there's a lot of caution now about how far they're willing to push certain angles, especially with the new corporate oversight. Another factor could be timing. With Survivor Series on the horizon and storylines shifting to accommodate the War Games format, WWE might have decided to delay the feud to avoid overshadowing other marquee matches. The potential shelving of this feud hasn't gone unnoticed by fans. Social media erupted following Raw, with many expressing disappointment over the sudden change in direction. We've been invested in this storyline for months, and now it's just gone? What's the point of building something up if there's no payoff? Triple H is usually a master of storytelling, but this feels like a major letdown. Why pull the plug now? This feud could have been the next Rock versus Austin, but it feels like they're scared to go all in. The frustration stems from a sense of betrayal. WWE has conditioned fans to trust in Triple H's long-term booking, but this move feels abrupt and disconnected from the meticulous pacing fans have come to expect. In professional wrestling, few things are more important than the payoff to a well-built feud. Fans invest their time and emotions into these storylines, eagerly awaiting the climactic moment when everything comes to a head. When that moment is taken away or worse, rushed or mishandled, it can leave a sour taste in the audience's mouth. Triple H has historically excelled at delivering satisfying payoffs. Under his leadership, NXT became synonymous with storytelling that rewarded patient viewers. Take, for example, the epic rivalry between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. That feud spanned years, evolving through multiple twists and turns, and culminated in matches that felt deeply personal and emotionally charged. The potential blood feud on Raw had the same ingredients: two competitors with undeniable chemistry, a layered backstory, and a palpable sense of hatred. By seemingly sidelining it, WWE risks alienating fans who were eager to see the payoff. One theory circulating among fans and insiders is that WWE's decision to pull back on the feud may be an overcorrection in response to past criticism. Under Vince McMahon's leadership, WWE was often criticized for hot-shotting storylines, rushing feuds with no real build, or dropping them altogether. When Triple H took over, fans hoped for a return to slow-burn storytelling, and for the most part, he delivered. But this recent development suggests a potential overcorrection. Instead of rushing, WWE may now be hesitant to commit fully to certain storylines, fearing backlash if things don't go perfectly. The former WWE employee put it succinctly: "You can't let fear dictate your creative decisions. Wrestling thrives on risks. If you're too cautious, you lose the unpredictability and excitement that make this industry special." While the signs are promising, it's possible that WWE is simply hitting the pause button rather than canceling the feud outright. If that's the case, there's still a chance to reignite the rivalry down the line. To salvage the storyline, WWE would need to acknowledge the shift. WWE can't ignore the abrupt change in direction. If the feud is revisited, they need to address why it stalled and weave that into the narrative. Double down on the personal stakes. Fans were invested in the feud because it felt raw and personal. WWE should lean into that, making the eventual payoff even more explosive. Give it time. The worst thing WWE could do now is rush a conclusion. If the feud is revisited, it deserves the same care and attention that made fans fall in love with it initially. While this hiccup may frustrate fans, it's unlikely to tarnish Triple H's overall reputation as a creative visionary. Missteps are inevitable in any form of storytelling, especially one as unpredictable as professional wrestling. However, it does serve as a reminder that even the best storytellers can't afford to take their audience for granted. WWE has built a loyal fan base under Triple H's leadership, but that loyalty comes with expectations. This situation raises broader questions about the direction of WWE under its new corporate structure. As TKO Group Holdings exerts more influence, will we see more instances of creative caution? Or can Triple H navigate these waters while maintaining the bold, risk-taking storytelling that fans love? For now, fans can only hope that this potential blood feud isn't gone for good. WWE has the talent, the resources, and the creative minds to deliver something unforgettable. The question is whether they'll seize the opportunity or let it slip through their fingers. Did Triple H make a big mistake on Raw? Only time will tell. What's clear is that the wrestling world is watching closely. WWE has a golden opportunity to turn this situation around and prove that even when the road gets bumpy, the journey is worth it. For now, fans will hold on to hope and perhaps a bit of frustration as they wait to see what's next in this unpredictable era of WWE storytelling.